Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and our next Escape from Tarkov video. This is a Today in Tarkov where I try to do them every week just to get you guys updated on everything that happened in the week. But like this week we had some big stuff happen earlier. So if you haven't seen that video we did, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, go check that out. A bunch of important information in there, but otherwise, let's get you up to date on what happened in the last couple of days. Things with cheaters, balancing changes, a ton of crafting changes, all that kind of stuff. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. So first things first is the cheaters. We got another weekly update this time that since April 14th, which was right around a week of when they posted this, they got 2,000 cheaters banned in Tarkov. Again, they provided the spreadsheet. Go check this out. We do see people. I just did a video where we killed a cheater and confirmed it 100% because his name showed up on here and he was banned, even though his friends are still adamant that they're just, they're just really good at the game. They're not really cheaters. It's unbelievable what people cheat. The rationalization they'll go to for it, but nonetheless, spreadsheets here. I'll throw the link down in the description so you can check it out for yourself. You just use the Control F function and you can type in a name. Let's go look at how many TTVers are in here. There's 62. Man, I can't believe there's 62 streamers that are cheating that got caught, right? Joking, obviously. For those that don't get it, I'm joking. I'm seriously joking. But yeah, you can use that to go find any name that you might have wrote down or you saw. But on top of that, we are getting reports now. I've only got a bugged one, but you'll get a system message like this that'll say the date, the map, and something else. I'll see if I can get one for the graphic for the editor to throw up church that shows what it looks like specifically, but it doesn't show a name, which I know a lot of people are complaining about. But thinking about it, I don't know that any other game that does do report functions like this that does show a name. So either way, you're getting shown, but you can go look up the name on the spreadsheet. I wish they'd show the name in the report. I think it would do more good, but maybe their name changes. The cheaters will change their name from time to time, things like that. So who exactly knows for sure? Next up is the balancing changes they did as far as base prices on weapons attachments. Whole list is here. Again, I'll throw the link up so you can look at it yourself. What does this mean? I don't think anything. I don't know that this really changes much of anything other than how much of a tax you pay on the flea market. That's really all that I think this affects, because this isn't the vendor price. This is a base price. It's like a hidden price. Without getting into the details of it, they increased some of them, or most of them. I think some of them, there's a few in here that got decreased, but not very many. So yeah, what this means, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Now, on top of that, they decreased the vertical recoil of the ASVAL and the VSS. And I'll just throw some B-roll up here of me playing on factory running around with it. The gun is kind of a monster again. It's still not what it was quite 2 years ago, but going from 98 to 80 on the base recoil with both guns was a pretty big decrease because that's on top of the 15% global decrease they did like a day before they did this. Now, if you're using these things as SMGs, the VSS has better, even though you can't modify it like you can the ASVAL, the VSS has better hidden stats. It has to do with like reset time and stuff like that. So it does feel better to shoot. So make sure you check that out yourself and see which one feels better for if you want to use it. But this has affected a lot of things. One of the big ones I'll point out, we do economics here for you guys, is the BP barter that you can do. I believe, is this on level 4? Yeah, it's level 4 proper after I think it's locked by a task, even like Grenadier or something, but it causes strike cigarettes to do some crazy stuff. So whenever proper resets, you'll see these strike cigarettes sometimes push 30,000. So if you're finding strikes and you don't care, still keep them because you can sell them for decent money, especially if you catch those resets on proper as people burn through them to do this BP barter. There's also the SPP barter if you want. I don't think this has affected tape any great deal. There's a couple of barters that use tape. Plus SPP is not that great. SP6 is technically better, but you're also gonna have to buy your SP6 on resets because it sells out pretty quick, because not only do people use it because it's a pretty good ammo, it's needed for the craft for PAB9, which replaced BP craft, which we'll talk about that here in a second. Real quick, before we get into the crafting side of things, it reminds me I need to do a plug, which I'm terrible about doing, for my Patreon. Place for you guys to go support me as a content creator that's better than any of the other platforms out there as far as fairness, I guess, and what they share for it. for that side of it, for those that do support me over there, I do weekly crafting videos where I go through the whole hideout. I show you the best crafts, and because the group is smaller, it doesn't blow the economy apart. So if that's something you're interested, go check it out. I appreciate anybody that decides to do that. If not, the content's still here for you free either way. No harm, no foul. All right, now as far as some of the other quote-unquote balancing changes, they changed a ton of crafts, and the pretty good list here. Again, I'll throw the link down so you guys can see these. First off, they changed 7.62 by 39 BP. Wasn't a huge change. Basically, all they did is it requires 120 rounds of PS now, which is fine. I think that's a good change. It kind of weird making bullets out of thin air. The price it doesn't really affect the craft all that much. It's minimal. Anybody who's crafting this doesn't usually care about that. Just one more item you have to buy. Now, as far as a big change, the old 9x39 BP craft, which allowed you to craft 160, it wasn't super expensive. It was kind of a cool craft, especially now with the buffs. They changed that to PAB9. So you get 200 of them now. The time is still the same. The price is a little bit more expensive because now you got to buy 200 rounds of SP6, which the problem with that is I don't know. I can't remember, because they've changed these around a lot. The how much you can buy on each reset of proper, I don't even remember what it is totally, because it's completely out. I wanted to say it was like 180, but it might be higher than that. So you can't even buy the whole amount of them to do the craft. Maybe I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but you have to use SP6 to craft it. And the thing is PAB9, we'll pull up the ballistics thing here on the wiki. 9x39, here is SP6, right? SP6 is 58 pen, 46 pen, 58 damage. PAB9 is only 48 pen and 62 damage. So you're doing all this crafting to gain 2 penetration and 4 damage. Now, it's not meaningless. I haven't had enough time to test both of them yet to see if there is a big enough impact that you really want to use PAB9 over SP6, other than if you're running into like class 6. PAB9 will get through that class 6 just a little bit faster than SP6 will, but with the fire rate of the ASVAL and the VSS, it's not going to be something that shows up a lot. So I haven't decided yet whether this craft is a really good one, it's a really bad one. I still need some time to figure through it, but I wanted to point it out to you guys that it was there, and that's what it meant. You can still get BP at least through the barter, so that it's almost an OP ammo. It's still there, it's still able to be used. Now, another craft they changed was the gunpowder kite, and this is a great change. So it went from requiring 70 rounds of PS and pliers as a tool to get 1 gunpowder in an hour and a half. Now it's 120 rounds, but it gives you 2 gunpowders, same amount of time. And this has had a pretty dramatic effect this weekend on the price. Now, one could say this wasn't because of the craft, because the timing's a little off. I just think it took a little time for it to work its way into the economy. I think it does matter. The craft doesn't make you a ton of money. It's not a top shelf craft, but it is an easier craft. And people may be doing it more, and it puts more in the economy, which makes the prices go down, which is a good thing because it makes crafting everything cheaper. That it requires blue gunpowder, which is a lot more crafts than you might think. So that's another change they made if you didn't know about it, especially if you're a blue craft lover. Keep that in mind. You're getting a little bit more out of it now than you were before. The 9x21 BT craft, which this is the shrimp or the SR2. They made it, it's a quality of life change, right? So what they did is instead of they reduced how many components it takes. So it's 2 hawks, it's 2 eagles, and it's 3 packs of screws. So they got rid of one of the kites. And then you don't require a fierce blow sledgehammer anymore to do the craft, just the hand drill, which it turned into a pain in the neck. I had one of these as well. You have to have one of these sledgehammers hanging around, which is kind of big. So whenever you were recovering crafts, if you didn't have a bunch of stash space, it wouldn't let you complete the craft, which kind of sucks because then you have to sell a bunch of stuff just to get room to start another craft. So pretty good quality of life. I like it. This doesn't change the cost of the ammo that much. A little bit on the kite being removed, but quality of life change there for that. And then SPP, not an irrelevant ammo. A lot of people don't like this ammo, but here's the thing with it. You can buy SP5 at loyalty level 2 proper. Before this required BT. BT is a problem because it's hard to get a hold of, right? The 9x21, you have to craft the stuff. You can't buy it anymore. So they pulled that out. They made it SP5, which makes sense for the realism side if you're worried about what SPP is versus SP5. And then when we'll go back to the ballistics here and look at it, it does give you a meaningful buff. So taking your rounds of SP5 and turning them to SPP, you're going from 28 pen to 40 pen, and you're only giving up 3 damage. So it is meaningful all the way up to, like, it matters a lot for class 4 and class 5 armors. SPP is going to go right through that versus SP5 is going to take a couple of shots. And then when it comes to hitting arms, things like that, the SPP is just that much better. So for lower levels, it gives you a better ability to use the VSS. It also allows you to kind of fill that gap. If you can't get SP6 or some of the other ammos, you can take SP5 and turn it into something that hits just a little bit harder for crafts. And then M80 got changed. They made it a little bit less expensive, from 5 gunpowder kites to 2, from 2 eagles to 1, and then same amount of screw nuts. Time stayed the same, amount stayed the same, still makes 80. This doesn't really change anything. It makes the craft a lot cheaper, which is going to make people that were complaining about it not complain. Maybe they're probably still going to complain. It was giving you access to an ammo early, which is why I didn't mind it. This kind of cost change really doesn't change the dynamic of the game all that much in the big picture of things. But if it makes people happy, great, I guess. M80 is cheaper now. After that, we got SNB. There's going to be a lot of people that don't like this change. I think it's a good change for game balance. SNB was kind of a broken craft because you could just craft it and sell it and make money, which I guess there's no real harm in that. But it also meant that you had one of the most powerful ammos in the game crafted pretty cheap. So basically what they did is they reduced how much you can make down to 40, which makes sense compared when you look at a lot of the other ammos they changed. And they added to where you have to have 40 rounds LPS, which isn't all that big of a deal, but it's that and 1 gunpowder and half the amount, doubles the price. You get the math. That's how it works. Now, the other one, big hit, also I think is a good change for balance purposes, because I don't know how many rounds of M61. I have a ton of M61 because I craft it and I use it. I don't not use it. I don't just sit on it. You can see here I got almost a full ammo case. Let's see if I load a mag. What does it say I have? I have 1,300 rounds of M61. I'm not going to burn through that, especially because I stack mags. And so I think it was a little too easy to get a hold of. So it's good that they're changing this craft, makes it a little less prevalent, which anybody who's played for many wipes knows that easy ammo makes the game boring because it gets to where armor doesn't matter. Engagements change a lot, and the game is just less fun when everybody has top tier shit all the time. So what they did here is they did reduce it from 3 gunpowder or 6 to 3, 3 radiator helixes to 1, but then you have to have 4 rounds of M80, which you need to buy, which is limited. You have to have levels to buy it as well, and then reduce the craft time from a little over 16 and a half hours to right around 12 and a half hours, but you only get 40 rounds now versus 80. So a lot of movements there to change it, less prolific overall, a little bit less expensive per round, or balanced depending on how you want to look at it, are the same, but it is what it is. That's where we are at. And then the last page here had to do with trading adjustments. These, I don't want to say these are meaningless, but there's not a lot to them. I'm not going to dive into them. They basically changed 9x21, how much you could buy, how much it cost, made it cheaper, made more available, yada, yada, yada. It's everything from subsonic to on the MP7 rounds to the 9x21 PS on proper. So they made it easier. It used to be level 4, now it's level 3 proper. It's all easier. Great. It might make it available for some other people that it doesn't, which I'm happy for if it does. This doesn't change the game a ton, but I wanted to talk about it just so you know it's there. You can go look more closely if you want based on the link. Now, there's one bug that I keep forgetting to mention that somebody in the comments brought up, and I wish I could name them, but I'm fighting a cold myself and I'm not feeling really good, and I just don't feel like going to take it back. There is a vendor sale bug. And the specific one I can point out and show to you guys now, for example, is, and this might not be part of this might be something else, I don't know. I can't sell Letix as the therapist, right? It won't let me sell it to her. It just doesn't work. Now, you'll see this with Jaeger, you'll see this with Mechanic, you'll see it with Ragman. All of the traders, there's some kind of bug people are seeing, it won't let you sell stuff. BSG is aware of it. They said they know about it. Hopefully we get a fix with the next patch with everything else from flashlights, which are still bugged for those that are asking. You can't sell flashlights are still bugged. If you don't know about that, go watch my video on that. Explains that. Don't use flashlights is the TLDR version of it. So there is a bug out there with selling stuff. If you're seeing that, it's not a balancing change. It's not a nerf. It's just something goofy going on with what vendors will accept and not. And then to round this out, we have a tweet from BSG. Let me get over here real quick. kind of verifying, I say verifying, they're publicly publishing what we already got last week. We talked about in the other video, from what the community got out of the ARS, which is the alternate reality game, ARG, bunch of acronyms. Basically, guys, code broke. They got all the stuff already. We talked about it, but if you haven't seen it yet, it's officially up on BSG's Twitter. You can go see it. It's photos of, you got Rashal, or I'm sorry, Rashala. I guess this is Ragman. This is a guy that's important in the backstory of Ryzhy and stuff. He's one of the note guys. This is Sanitar, our new mystery lady that's involved with them. That's her and Ragman now. So just more lore stuff. If you're interested, go check it out. It's all there and available for you guys. But we'll wrap it up there. One real quick shout out, as I always like to do, for my music. It's available for everybody to listen to free on Spotify. Links down in the description. If you're a content creator, it is made for you as well. You can use it without fear of copyright strikes or DMCA takedowns if you use it on YouTube or your streams. You get it from SoundCloud. Just all we ask is you attribute us so that people know where you got it from. It helps spread the word, because that's how we get our money back for making it. Is people listen to it, we get money off ads. That's how the whole process works. But it's free otherwise. So appreciate those of you that listen to it. If you haven't yet, go check it out. It helps me out a ton. But we'll wrap her up there. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a good weekend from when you're watching this. Good luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.